How's it going, Raider Nation? It is JT coming at you with another episode of the Raidercast, your podcast for everything silver and black. Today, I have a somewhat of a prediction show. Actually, it is a prediction show, but I already did my record predictions. Now I'm doing my award predictions. So the end of year NFL honors awards such as MVP, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, etc. are announced right before the Super Bowl. But I'm going to make my predictions for how those awards are given out this year. I'm going to do Coach of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, and then MVP of the entire 2022-2023 NFL season. So to start off, I'm going to start off with what I would consider the least interesting, maybe that's a little wrong words, but MVP seems most exciting, and then it kind of goes down to like Coach of the Year / Comeback Player of the Year, kind of like forgotten about awards or ones that people don't really focus on too much or talk about a lot. But so I'm going to start with those. So my Coach of the Year is kind of an unexpected one. Not a lot of people are talking about this coach, and that is Nick Sirianni of the Philadelphia Eagles. I think that he will get Coach of the Year because I think he will obviously get them to the playoffs again. I think the offense, which is what he's good at, will be one of the best in the maybe not one of the best, but like definitely top 10 easy in the league, just because they have the weapons on the passing game. They have the offensive line, they have the running backs, they have a solid tight end, Dallas Goedert. So to get Coach of the Year, usually it is a first-year head coach who takes like a bottom-dwelling or needs improvement team to the playoffs or wins their division. So people are going for like Nathaniel Hackett. They're going for Kevin O'Connell, I think that's his name, in Minnesota. Or maybe even Josh McDaniels, who does really good or stuff like that. Or they go with like a veteran coach who's done really well this season, such as Bill Belichick or Sean McVay or Andy Reid, stuff like that. Or like last year, Mike Vrabel, who led the team to the first seed with a bunch of injuries and stuff like that, which is why he won it. But I think Nick Sirianni will get it just because he will not only improve on the 9-7 record, but also win the division and be known as one of the best teams in the league, probably easily top 10 in my opinion, just because their defense, their offense, the moves they made over the offseason were very, very good. And I don't know. I wanted to be a little bit different on this one just because it's kind of boring to hear the same ones over and over again. Obviously, I have some similar ones to what other people are saying. But for this one, I want to be a little different, and I think he could get it. I think he's a really good coach from the Frank Reich coaching tree. Now, moving on to my Comeback Player of the Year. A lot of people are saying Derrick Henry might be it and stuff like that. But my Comeback Player of the Year is Jameis Winston of the New Orleans Saints. Now, the reason I have Jameis Winston as my Comeback Player of the Year is because they were 5-2 before he went down with his ACL injury. I think they very easily make the playoffs. They were still in contention in the very last week of the season or the week before the end of the season, after starting like Ian Book at quarterback, Trevor Siemian, Taysom Hill, stuff like that. And they still almost made the playoffs. So I think they can definitely make the playoffs again, even though with Sean Payton leaving. But they have Michael Thomas back, who has really good targets. They have Chris Olave. They have just a really good, solid offense, as well as a really good defense. But that is not important to Jameis. But I think Jameis will just be a really good quarterback, or at least decent enough to get them to the playoffs, which is why I think he wouldn't come back Player of the Year over someone like Derrick Henry. Because I kind of think that Henry might get injured again, or the Titans won't even make the playoffs. So yeah, I don't even know if Henry rushes for 2K this year, which is I think would give him definitely Comeback Player of the Year very easily. I think Jameis Winston coming back, giving them like an 11-6 record, which I think I predicted for them, beating the Buccaneers twice, stuff like that, getting to the playoffs will be the reason why he wins Comeback Player of the Year. Now, I'm going to move on to the rookies, the rookie awards. I'm going to start off with Defensive Rookie of the Year, someone I'm also not really hearing too much about. Usually someone like Aiden Hutchinson, people are talking about Trayvon Walker. Any of those players, like the edge rushers, usually get it. But I'm going to take a corner and go Ahmad Sauce Gardner. I think he's going to have a really good season under Robert Saleh's tutelage. I don't think the Jets are going to do very good this year, but that doesn't really matter for rookie of the year or defensive rookie of the year and stuff like that. I think he should have a good amount of interceptions. He will be known as a lockdown corner. I think he's going to excel, especially if he can show out against teams like the Bills in his division, the Dolphins in his division with Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs. And I think he can do well against the Patriots receivers and really lock them down, maybe rack up some stats against them. And plus, they're playing a lot of bottom-feeding teams and quarterbacks, so that would definitely boost his stats a lot, or at least help him out, or give him the assistance that he needs, or like give him some good stats along the way to having a probably terrible record. But I think he should have a very, very good season. Obviously, Aiden Hutchinson will more than likely get it, and because he's just gonna probably have a ton of sacks in Detroit, or maybe Trayvon Walker is really good, or whoever the Packers picked, or maybe George Karlaftis, because they're going to better situations in the Packers and the Chiefs. But I think the Jets corner pick of Ahmad Sauce Gardner will give him the Defensive Rookie of the Year award for this season. Now, moving on to the other rookie award, I believe that the Offensive Rookie of the Year will be none other than George Pickens, wide receiver of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think he should have a really good season. Obviously, Deontay Johnson's on that team. Chase Claypool is on that team, and they don't really have a great quarterback situation. However, I think that he's already been known enough and seen a lot of plays from him in the preseason. I think he'll have a lot of flash plays. I think he'll give a lot of assistance and a lot of just versatility in that offense. I think he can do a lot. He can be very dominant. I would think at times he was very dominant at times at Georgia. I just think he could be a very good player. I think he was a steal where he was picked, where he was drafted. I think he was a second-round pick, which he should have been a first-round pick. I think he'll play very well, especially complementing Deontay Johnson very nicely. And honestly, I think he takes Chase Claypool's spot as wide receiver 2 on that team. But that's kind of why I picked him. Again, I think this is not a bad. I think a lot of people are picking him, but I think a lot of people pick running backs. Running backs and edge rushers are really common to do for the player of the year and defensive player of the year and offensive rookie of the year and defensive rookie of the year. So I want to go slightly different, with also acknowledging that players like Dameon Pierce and Kenneth Walker may be able to win it and stuff like that. But I think George Pickens should have a very good season. And I think he's going to be a pretty dominant player in the future as well. Moving on to my defensive player of the year. Now, you may have seen the thumbnail of this video and said, does he really give Max Crosby, who's obviously his favorite player, had a whole account for a while, being a stan for him, defensive player of the year? And that answer is abso-fucking-lutely. Max Crosby is going to be your defensive player of the year. He deserved defensive rookie of the year in 2019. He got beat out by Nick Bosa. If he was anywhere close to a first or second round pick, he would have gotten defensive rookie of the year. He had very close or even better stats than Nick Bosa did that year, and he's going to have a fucking insane season this year. He's going to be so good in Patrick Graham's scheme. It's going to be unreal, especially with Chandler Jones on the other side. And not forget, he has one of his best seasons as a rookie when he was the best edge rusher on the team. He had 10 sacks, and he was a sack leader as a rookie. He had less sacks after that, but he was still leading the team, sadly, with, I think, 7 sacks in 2020. He did not, and then in 2021, he did not lead the team, but he still came in second with 8 sacks. But I think he actually doubles his thing, and he gets 13 to 16 sacks. He still has his elite run defense. He's going to be known after the end of the season as a top 3 edge rusher, along with Myles Garrett and TJ Watt. And maybe TJ Watt gets injured. He's already a little bit hurt. I don't know if he's actually going to be super hurt, but he gets hurt a lot. And he had a still insane season last year with getting hurt. But there's also Aaron Donald to talk about. I mean, Aaron Donald might just win it just because he is Aaron Donald, but if they're getting voter fatigue, which they sometimes do, they might just go for Mad Max Crosby. Especially if the Raiders make the playoffs and the defense is really dominant, and he's the reason why, because he's obviously going to be a captain. He's been the leader of this defense for the last 3 or 4 seasons, on 4 seasons now. And he's been the backbone of this defense ever since he was drafted in 2019. And I think he finally gets the recognition he deserves at NFL Honors Nights and gets Defensive Player of the Year. Book it now. I'm probably going to be wrong, but I don't give a fuck. I'm going to keep saying it every year until he wins it. All right. Anyway, rant over. Moving on to Offensive Player of the Year is going to be Jonathan Taylor. Now, definitely think he could have gotten it last season, but Cooper Kupp had one of the best, wide receiver, seasons ever. But I think Jonathan Taylor can definitely repeat his production next season with the new Matt Ryan at QB, even though they have, especially because their passing game isn't going to be insanely good. I think they're still going to super rely on Jonathan Taylor to be the carry of that team. He might not get as many yards, but I think he'll get just as many touchdowns as he did last season or more. He's averaging over 5 a carry for his entire career so far. He had 5.5 last season. He averaged 5 his rookie season, or flip-flop, not sure which one. He had 1,800 yards last season. I think he could go even more this season, especially since they don't really have anyone behind him besides Nyheim Hines, who's not really someone who's going to take carries away, except to obviously rest Jonathan Taylor a little bit. But I think he's going to get a lot of carries, he's going to get a lot of yards, he's going to get a lot of touchdowns, which is why he gets Offensive Player of the Year over someone like Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, Derrick Henry, players like them who usually get it or have gotten it in the past, or people are predicting him to get it. I think it's going to be Jonathan Taylor. I think he's going to have another absolutely bonkers season. Now, for the final award that I'm giving out, and that is the Most Valuable Player Award for your 2022-2023 NFL season, and is a very basic pick, but I think it's going to happen. Josh Allen is going to finally get his MVP award this season. He's going to join the ranks of Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen will be the third young QB to get his MVP. Obviously, I just talked about the first two that get their MVPs recently that are the younger players. Aaron Rodgers has gotten it back-to-back. I don't think he gets it a third time, especially with Devontae Adams gone, and their team more relying on the run game and defense rather than Rodgers chucking it and fucking it downfield. I think Josh Allen's going to have a really, really freaking good season. He might lead the league in pass yards. He might lead the league in touchdowns. He'll probably not lead the league in interceptions by any margin or any stretch of the imagination. He's pretty safe with the football now. He makes insane plays. His running ability with his legs is very underrated. He was their leading rusher last season, I think, until a certain point when Devin Singletary finally started getting carries, which probably won't happen this year, but he's electric. He's awesome. He's really, really good. I think he can, especially if the Bills end up being the best team in the league, he will very easily win this award. Now, that is my NFL Honors preview prediction show thing. I'll probably do one later on in the season to see after this, obviously after the season happens, to see, what actually happened, what I think will actually happen on NFL Honors Night. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you agree with any of my choices, if you agree Mad Max will finally win Defensive Player of the Year, or if we have to wait another year or two till he gets it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a like and also subscribe. Turn on the notification bell. I'm on the road to 100. I'm at 90 right now, 10 away. I'm trying to get there before the Raiders season starts. I'm obviously not going to get it tonight, but before the Raiders season starts, obviously, if not, that is okay, but still, that is my goal. So if you can help me get there, I will love you and care for you forever, and I love and care for you all. I greatly appreciate the support, and I hope you guys had a wonderful day. Peace out, Raider Nation.